that's the project that's occurring. And under the law, the Park Service is required to mitigate that impact. And the impact on a archaeological level is the data, the information that's contained in that site. And so we're trying to get a sample of that data before the impacts occur.
Why not before the plan?
The other side of this is there's a very rich Indian history here.
Absolutely.
People want to know. I would think that you guys would all want to know how long.
We have our knowledge right here, and she's the one that keeps us going with our history.
We don't need the knowledge dug up out of the ground.
Excuse me. It's extremely valuable. Extremely valuable. Yes. Yes, it is. Sure.
So it's just a... Yeah, I don't know what... we're at an impasse.
Right.
Yeah.
If you have any more questions about the archaeology or anything I can answer, I'd be glad to do that. If you have other questions or statements, please get a hold of the park superintendent.
I know. Been there, done that. He doesn't listen.
And he pretty much said we're not Indians.
They're not Indians, so.
He said we're not Indians and that.
Right, if they cared, they'd be here.
Didn't say
They wouldn't put it on you guys.
The way we feel, it hurts us. I know it's not the case,
but this was kind of unanticipated, so I don't know. I mean, they're not going to be here all the time we're working, the superintendent.
Well, of course not.
Right, he has, just addressing the gentleman
Absolutely,
behind.
I hear what you're saying.
We're just doing our thing, and so that's where the consultation, we're just employees, and so it needs to go to higher than us, and kind of government to government level. Well, that's the superintendent is the superintendent of the park, and that's where, if as far as higher level, you keep asking that. That's all we can point to.
It needs to go on record. This is unacceptable. This is not approved at all. That needs to go on record with each and every unacceptable.
Did you have a question?
I worked at the Park Service on the other side of the hill and also worked for archaeology people plus the Forest Service. They dug that sensitive ground before. I want you to listen to this. I worked with them. I monitored them. Whatever they found in the hole, whatever was out of the city, everything that came out went from that bag. There was a bunch of people there too. We agreed to what they wanted to do. All of these artifacts were taken to the Forest Service, which were there in the vault, and they documented all each boat, each little thing came. When it was all over, it took about 3 years to put it over. They didn't know what to do with all these artifacts. So we went back down there and asked them, we want all of those artifacts to go back in that same hole, and we were going to have a ceremony for that. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a ceremony when you bury your own people, but they kept all those things. Nothing disappeared because we monitored those things when they were doing it, right at the Forest Service. That's at Three Rivers. And they were all taken back. We had about 40, 50 people that were outside the media looking. They were all put back in one by one. Then we had our ceremony. We put the bones back in there. So that's where we want to know where these things are going to go. We don't know where they're going to go after you guys pick them up. I know you guys are archaeology people. I work with them. And I know what some people can do. Some people didn't even tell you the truth. Not all archaeologists are true, honest. That's the believe me not. But you have honest.
Everybody's human,
but it's to want to know where these things are going to go.
They go into the Yosemite Museum.
But when it's ready to be buried again, that's when you need to get all the tribal people together, come back and have a ceremony for them bones, artifacts, just like the lady here. Her parents lived here. So she knows what she's talking about. She's got heart, just like you guys have. And it hurts. It hurts when you dig like that.
I understand.
Well, we don't have any human remains, and there's no evidence of that here.
It doesn't matter. The fact that you impacted the ground is enough already, though.
Well, absolutely. This is spiritual grounds. It's Indian land.
Yeah, so do you think Jim is working? Okay. Laura will take on
and answer as many questions as I can.
We don't see the things that are in that museum.
That's right.
That's one of the things that are in the plan. Why don't we work on that? We want to see.
I can't tell you when the two buildings would be converted to
We would love to
museums.
see the history of Yosemite, but it's all locked up, and things are missing.
But you do know that's part of the Yosemite Valley.
Yeah, why don't they do that first?
clear out that administration building and make it into a museum so we can see the history of
It's
Yosemite.
all
We
part
want
of
to
the
see that.
phasing.
When? 10 years from now?
I can't
15 years
answer
when all of
that.
the damage is done?
I can't answer you that question.
Well,
Who do you go to for planning?
The superintendent's office.